Welcome, everyone. As we wrap up what has undoubtedly been the hardest year in travel for all of us, I wanted to issue a heartfelt thank you to all our hostel partners on behalf of myself and the entire team at Hostelworld. I firstly want to commend you on all of your unwavering resilience. It is heartening and encouraging to see so many of you doing everything you can to get through this crisis. You've adapted your operations and pivoted in ways only the hostel industry could, through the attention that you have given to your guests you could host, through the experience you offered to those guests, and through your perseverance in ensuring that their health and safety was non negotiable at all times. The other key thing that's amazed all of us, and again is a testament to the uniqueness of this industry, is not only that you've been doing all you can to keep your businesses alive, you've also been doing what you can to support others throughout the crisis. And quite often, it was those of you who couldn't host guests that posted in the most effort in this regard. We launched Hostel Heroes back in April because these stories started making their way back to us. We have heard from some of you in the meantime that anyone who got through this year is a hostel hero, and indeed you all are. But there really are some standout examples like Hop Hostel in Coron, Philippines, implementing an initiative to help provide food to those most affected within their city during the crisis. Or Clink Hostels are pledging 1,000 free beds for travellers keen to travel or to volunteer with key social causes for food waste or helping the elderly, working with vulnerable adults in the community. And there's Casa MX Hostel Group in Mexico City. They partnered with an organization called Forge that helps bring employment to young people from socioeconomic disadvantaged areas. As well as this, they're also providing free beds for medical personnel. And when you talk about resilience, you only have to look at Colony Beirut Hostel to confirm what we're talking about. Not only did they have the pandemic to contend with, on August 4th, they were also directly impacted by the explosion we all watched in horror, but rather than dwell on it, they're now doing everything they can to rebuild so that they can welcome guests back to their hostel. And the sheer breadth of initiatives is also astounding, spanning everything from the more specific COVID-19 related to the broader areas of community outreach, diversity inclusion, sustainability, and much, much more. And of course, the other heroes that I wanted to give a quick shout out to today are the close to 1,500 new hostels who have come on board in a year when all of us wanted to do was to hibernate. The warmest of welcomes to you. Just trust me, it's not always like this. But then you already know that since you chose to join this remarkable industry in the first place. I spoke to you all in May about taking advantage of this time to focus on tackling several key areas with regard to our product technology and what we did. And we've had more releases this year than ever before, taking the opportunity to completely reset in some cases. As a result, I can say that Hostelworld and in turn all the hostels on our platform will now be in a much stronger position when travel does return. And I'm not going to go into detail on each and every release, but I thought I'd just highlight quickly a few of them. As you may remember, we launched flexible NRR, or non-refundable rate, at a time when so few of you could take guests, but we wanted to generate a way to generate cash flow at a time when hospitals desperately needed it, and it turns out that our guests were in favor too. And what's interesting is in the destinations where those flex non-refundable rates were offered, they often surpass the non-flex non-refundable rate counterparts, showing that there's clearly an appetite from our customers to book now and for dates in the future where they have a little bit of flexibility to change them. We also removed Elevate, again, a much requested and welcome enhancement for anyone who'd used the program. Its removal has reduced the redistribution cost of selling your beds with Hostelworld. It's also created a fairer playing field where hostels with the highest ratings and the most competitive inventory now feature at the top of the city pages. We significantly enhanced our promotional platform. Again, something that you've been pushing us on for quite some time. And in Q1, we have further releases coming up on the front end to make sure that all of the promotions that you load on the back end are being merchandised on the city pages and the microsite pages. So in essence, the Q1 releases we do there will tie a lot of the work that we did in Q3 and Q4, ensuring that we've got a really good, complete end-to-end promotions experience. Another big focus area, of course, was the data and reporting. And I can tell you that there's an awful lot more releases that we'll be doing next year, so you'll be able to see how to use those promotions to the greatest effect. We started the year with our biggest conference to date. Over 600 of you descended upon Dublin, where we spoke to you all about building a better world. Now, obviously, our plans for the rest of the global events that we plan to have throughout the different regions of the world were somewhat scuppered by COVID-19, but we flipped to hosting virtual events. We hosted about 170 different webinars with literally thousands of hostels attending. We also put increased efforts into our online communications this year to ensure we kept everyone fully informed at all times. And I think over the course of the last 12 months, you've opened more than 500,000 different email communications from us between you. We've also launched our first joint industry surveys to ensure that all of our collective customers were given a voice, and plan to do many more of those into 2021 so we can continue to be laser focused on what our mutual customers need and want. We see a huge benefit in working together on these collaborative surveys. So thank you ever so much to all of you, those who took part and shared in the survey with their own databases. And thanks to those of you who took part in our ongoing operator research also. Your feedback in these surveys helps us ensure that your needs are central to all of the future roadmaps that we develop and execute against. The last piece of feedback that you gave us was around the annual awards. And based on this, we are going to give Hoskas a bit of an overhaul. We're going to focus on the issues that we know matter most to you, but also to our customers, and very much taking into account the year in question. We'll do a big reveal in January, but based on all of your feedback about what direction to take the Hoskas in for 2020, I'm pretty confident you're going to be really liking where we've landed, and we're confident that our customers will be too. So as I speak here today, the first vaccines are being administered probably sooner than a lot of us imagined would be the case. There are certainly chinks of light appearing at what can only be described as an incredibly very long, dark tunnel. And if there's anything we would like you to take with us into 2021, it's your continued cooperation, your courage, your generosity, and your unwavering tenacity. I cannot thank you enough for your support and look forward to sharing the next phase of the Hostelworld journey together with you, hopefully at one of those conferences around the world. And with that, I'll wish you a happy and Merry Christmas wherever you are, and hopefully a peaceful and prosperous New Year. Thank you.